Hello, this is teddygaming and welcome back to a review on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tmnt Usagi Yojimbo whenwhere issue number 4. So yeah, I must admit overall, I feel though that this issue has been pretty great and really good, and it's really enjoyable with all the fights that I did get in this issue. However, I do feel though that this issue wasn't a really good second to last issue. I feel though that the story that are going on feels though that it should be like the middle point of the story. But I don't really know how else to really explain it, but it doesn't really feel like a second to last issue. Just because I will say this, I feel though that like they set up a lot of things for the last issue, but I don't think I have enough time to really explore and expand some stuff, which I do hope they do expand upon in the last issue. And I feel though that like they're setting so much up that it just can feel so rushed in the next issue. So yeah. Okay, so actually getting into the actual review itself, we do actually get to see two Usagi Yojimbo characters. We do get to see this pig that's been around for the Usagi Yojimbo comics for, I want to say near the beginning of the comic run. So that's pretty interesting, really great to see that he's still around. And also he has a daughter now. And yeah, so they're just going through the forest and stuff like that. And that's when they do hear the samurais coming through the forest. And then that's when they do get attacked by them. And they get out their swords and start attacking them. And I must admit here it was pretty great. I did enjoy their fight scene here. I do feel though that it may be a little bit forced into this comic, I would say. I know, I feel though these characters didn't really have much reason to be in this comic, and as well as they were there for the Usagi Yojimbo fans, which I must admit is really great and really cool to see that. But I must admit at the same time, I do feel though that with the Turtle fans, they might not understand them and stuff like that. So I do feel though they might be a little bit forced in there. Not to mention they didn't really add anything to the story. It was just there. I don't really know how else to really explain it, but I feel though they can be taken out and it still would be really great here. But either way, this little bit here was still pretty great nonetheless, and I do still enjoy it. I feel though it was just really forced in there to really expand upon certain bits that just weren't really necessary, really. So in the next scene, we do get to see Lord Noriki and Torami just stand still at their base, and that's when we do get to talk to one of their people talking about what they should do next and stuff like that. And Lord Noriki says basically he wants to stay there just because all the people they've been wounded, some of them have been dead and stuff like that. And that's when the other person sort of questions his decision just because the Shogun wants them to leave and stuff like that. And I must admit here, I do find it pretty interesting, really great to see the two conflicts and stuff like that. So then going into the next bit of the comic, which I'll say is probably the best part about the comic, we do get to see the turtles, Usagi Yojimbo, and the ninjas going off into the woods, and that's when we do get to see the big spiders. Now these spiders, I must admit, were pretty fun and really great to see, them just fighting the turtles and Usagi Yojimbo. I must admit it was really great to see the turtles fight different foes, just because normally when they fight robots it's either Krang or foot soldiers. So I must admit here seeing them fight different life forms is pretty interesting to see them fight spiders and stuff like that. And I do think also for Usagi Yojimbo, it's also really great to see him go out of his element and fight different bad guys. However, I do feel as though that it's a little bit weird to see Usagi Yojimbo fight robots with more modern stuff compared to his foes, which are normally, normal beings and stuff like that in his world. Or if you do get the odd little weird things and stuff like that. So I do feel as though that it's a little bit weird seeing him fight more modern villains. But I do think it's really great to see him out of his element and stuff like that. And it's just a really great fun fight scene to see overall, them fighting all the different spiders and stuff like that. However, I do feel as though it could have been expanded upon a bit more and just shown a little bit more, just because it feels as though as much as this fight scene was really cool and really great to see, I do feel as though it could have been expanded a little bit more and stuff like that. So I must admit overall it's really great, but it could have been expanded a lot more. And then after that we do get to see the turtles and Usagi Yojimbo take on a dragon, and I must admit here it was again really great and fun to see the turtles fight different bad guys and stuff like that. But I must admit, I do feel as though that Usagi Yojimbo, I do feel as though that this is more out of his element with a dragon. Even though he has fought demons before, I do feel as though that this is definitely something out of his element a lot more than spiders. And I do think that the dragon is definitely not something which I would really pair up with Usagi Yojimbo, but I must admit, I do think it was really cool. But I must admit, I do feel as though that this fight scene was pretty short and very quick, just because Dragon came in and then was defeated within 3 pages and stuff like that. So I must admit, I do feel as though that that fight scene could have gone on for a lot longer, and I do feel as though there was potential there to really explore this fight scene, make it a little bit more fun and stuff like that. But instead, they are defeated by bombs. So yeah. One thing which I do find pretty interesting though is the fact that the turtles and Usagi Yojimbo all think that basically the dragon is not the hardest foe that they fought so far, and the hardest thing they're gonna fight is in whenwhere's castle. Now I do think if that is the case, then I do feel as though that again they're setting up a lot of stuff for the final issue that I don't think we're gonna explore or expand upon in the next issue to make it like a big threat that they're making out to be. Not to mention, we don't really know what the actual big threat is going to be, so I do think it's going to be really interesting to see what it could be. Like, even though they've not told us what the big threat is going to be, I do think that's really good, but also at the same time, I still think they have enough time to explore that fight scene and really make it big and great and stuff like that. The only thing I can possibly think that it could be is maybe Dr. Whenwhere's like the big threat, but at the same time I don't feel as though that he's going to be, but at the same time you just never know, so yeah! And then for the final few pages, we do get to see Toriyama talking to Jen about what they're going to do next and stuff like that, and do talk about Kitsune, about her funeral and stuff like that, and Jen's still going to go on with the clan just so they can do the mission stuff like that, which I must admit is pretty admirable for him to still go on the mission, which I must admit is pretty interesting and really great to see this side of Jen's character, and I do think it's a pretty interesting scene overall. But again, there's not really too much I can really say about this scene, just because we're just talking about stuff which there's not really too much I can really break down or really explore here. But I must admit, I do feel as though seeing these two characters here talking is pretty great, just because the parts that I've read of Usagi Yojimbo, these two characters not really spoken too much together. So I must admit, seeing these two characters here talking to each other was really interesting, really great, and yeah. Then for the final page, we do get to see the samurais running towards Toriyama and Jen, and I do feel as though this is a really good place to start the comic. I must admit, I do feel as though they set up a lot of stuff for the final issue in terms of the whole clan bit there going against samurais. That could be really fun and really great to see. Now, like I said before, I do feel as though they set up a lot of stuff for the final issue, but again, I don't think they have enough time to explore it. Because it feels to you that the samurais fighting Lord Naruki, Toriyama and Jen is going to be a really fun fight scene to watch, but at the same time, because half the comic is going to be spent on the turtles fighting Dr. Whenwhere, I feel as though I'm not going to have enough time to explore both fight scenes, and yeah. So yeah, I must admit overall, this issue has been really great and really enjoyable. I can't wait to read the final issue and see how they all wrap things up and stuff like that, because again, they set up a lot of stuff for the final issue, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be really great or anything like that. And I'm hoping it does end on a good note, just because it is a pretty decent comic series so far, and I hate it to be ruined for a final issue, but at the same time, it is IW, so you just never know with them. But, yeah. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this comic. Do you like it? Do you not? And, yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you do some, please share, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, and bye.